All right, so good morning, good evening, everyone. I'm going to start from sharing my screen just to see what we have in the agenda today. And today is supposed to be UX focused meeting, and I just inserted a couple updates before we start talking about UI. So one is just continuation from the last meeting. Basically, we spoke that it's hard to share triage responsibilities because members don't really have permission to make changes in labels. And then Jesse basically fixed it. He created a proposal that explains that members are supposed to have these permissions, and basically we're supposed to vote on it. And we already got a bunch of thumbs ups. So please use that link if you want to vote as well and give your opinion. And I don't know, Jesse, how long are you going to wait before you merge it? And
it has to run for 2 weeks, but I think if we have a super majority vote, then we can close it early.
Yes, so please just comment and basically express your opinion. If you like this change, comment and we can get it done sooner. Next, I'm assuming it was Dan, just added one more reminder about KubeCon. Is Dan in that meeting? Did you want to?
Yeah, no, I wanted to make a reminder for ArgoCon, which is coming up in December. CMPs are open until I think September 15th. And we have some good talks that have been submitted so far, but we definitely want to see more end users and more people submitting. So if you have any talks or you know some users that you think would give great talks, please encourage them to do so. It's at the, you can just Google ArgoCon, and that's going to be coming up. So want to definitely get more people there. Oh, one other update with it. We are moving it to be a virtual only conference. Right now it's listed as happening in San Francisco and virtual, but because of Delta, we've decided to move it virtual only. Apologize for that, but definitely all the virtual tickets are free, so there's no reason not to register if you haven't.
Thanks for reminder. All right, and I had one more last minute call basically so 2.1 release is ready, and it was supposed to be like, it was ready yesterday. I just decided to, ask everyone in that meeting if you want to cherry pick any last minute fix. You have like an hour or two today. After that meeting, I think we'll just push the button and release 2.1. And yeah, feel free to message, I guess, use maybe contributors channel if you want to cherry pick something, or if you want to hold on releasing 2.1 and work on fixing something. And all right, and I know that Harry wanted to talk about some processes, and I don't want to, steal completely UX topics from that meeting. Maybe we can talk about UX. And if Harry is in that meeting, we might have time at the end of the meeting to speak about it. So, okay, I guess we can talk about these two issues that we have in the list. Do you want to speak about the first one, the color scheme proposal? And I'm looking Sorry if I mispronounced your name.
Oh, that's right. E is right.
Okay, right. Yeah.
Thank you.
Go ahead, please. Do you want me? I can open the issue so we know what we're talking about.
Yes. Thank you. The issue is we have suspended color in the pie chart, which we didn't specify a color. So it rendered as black, like because we didn't specify the color of fill. So I want to add one more color. I want to use the out of sync warning yellow as the color of missing for the health status, and add another color for suspended, which is currently in the app is gray, same as unknown. So if you scroll down, I have a screenshot for the new color and the fill is a bit down. Now this one, this is
okay. Oh yeah.
okay, this one.
Mhm.
So this shade of blue gray generated based on our current color scheme between the red and the blue we have. I just, so you can see the missing now is same as out of sync, and below this pie chart you can see the future view of how it looks for each status. And
I'm curious, like, did you have to change any of the colors in the filter, or filter basically is the same and it's here for reference?
yeah, they, wherever we use one status, we use same color. So as you can see in the sync status, second one synced is green, and in the pie chart is green as well. So same color should be used across the app. So because we want to make each pie slice distinct, unique color, so it will change the filter icon color as well. That's why I want to raise it up so that I don't affect like across the app. I want everyone on the same page. So is that okay to use same yellow for the missing and the out of sync? As I see the healthy and the synced both are green. So I said it could be same for out of sync and missing.
The yellow color is a bit difficult to read. I think the not on the pie chart, but the word like the.
Oh, you mean the yellow color in text
word,
is hard to read?
Yeah, the yellow text.
Okay.
Yeah.
We can.
I would kind of, I would keep the color and maybe work on improving, you know, basically yellow and gray as well, difficult to read. But it's
I think you see the gray.
Yeah, I agree.
But maybe we can just kind of handle it different, like separately, and basically if we just change all the text to black and then switch from these small, you know, circles, replace small circles with a bigger icon. So kind of text would be just normal, you know,
add the filter.
And yeah, just use icons and, you know, colored icons to.
Okay.
Yeah, and I feel like, you know, I would work on these two issues separately. I agree, we first need to decide which colors we want to use, and then next, how do we render text and.
Sure.
I feel like one comment about missing. I see some logic to make it yellow, because out of sync, it's either basically when element is missing, it's considered out of sync. Yes. And only caveat is that it might be there, but it's like not matching to the state. But it's like it's really difficult to find color that really represents missing status, and I guess yellow is the closest one. So I personally, I would not be confused by that. I would say, yeah, it makes sense to make it yellow.
Okay, thank you. And just instead of the bullet, we use the same icon as the filter, right? Everywhere we have, and replace the colorful text with just black, so that it's easier to read. Okay, so maybe we can update this ticket and make that clear. You want to make it a different ticket issue?
I think it's up to you. Like, I don't think it's extremely big change, so there is no harm to make both changes in one.
Yeah, I agree. So just I will update this ticket and change the text. Okay.
And I just, yeah, because I'm not a designer, I'm looking for some validation for that idea. Like, William, would that help? How do you think, would you be able to read this page if like, if we...
Yeah, I think the black text, maybe like you said, like you mentioned, maybe the icon to have different color, because you can get, I cannot even read the gray. You didn't tell me there's a gray. I didn't see it. Yes, definitely. I think we weren't able to read the text.
Yeah. On this page, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. On this page, would it be better to kind of like remove the little the key, and basically because like the key basically says the same thing that the table says below, but you could move, so you could have like the sync status square under the sync status pie chart and the health status square under the health status pie chart. Would that make more sense?
I think I didn't catch it. Like, did you mean what you refer to a key? But what do you mean by key?
So yeah, that's like the key.
Okay, yes, sorry, I didn't.
But like underneath, basically like have each like the sync status filter. Sorry, filter is a better word. The sync status filter and the health status filter underneath their respective pie charts. Would that make more sense, or
I think this whole image is like, that was, I guess, created like in a paint maybe, and in reality it looks like this, right?
Oh yeah, I took the two screenshots differently.
Yeah,
separately.
so it stays on the left, kind of. Yeah, so.
Oh, never mind.
Yeah, so basically,
you're right.
We're not proposing to move this guy here.
Okay. And secondly, is it worth it to change missing as a color as a whole to yellow, like throughout the entire app, so it's like consistent?
Actually, it's a good point. I don't know where else we have it. Like, if we go to an application and then okay, it's a demo app, so we can do whatever. I'm going to create a missing resource right now and see. Sorry.
You can delete a resource from the rollout demo if you want.
Okay, yeah. I'll need to switch browser. Give me a second.
I know like the icon for it would change, so it'd be like a yellow, I think it's a ghost, right? It's like a yellow ghost instead of a gray ghost.
Yeah, it will be yellow ghost.
Okay, all right, so it will be yellow ghost.
And then it would just change with the health status bar, but that's okay.
Yes, basically wherever we have this ghost, it will be yellow. Just make it consistent if I make this change. Or we can also choose another color if that's better. I'm fine with.
Yeah, I think it's like choosing a color even more difficult than choosing the name. So that I would not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do also really like that purple color for like suspended. That was a nice one too.
Yeah, I think that one looks like a stone, like stopped stone color.
Could we use that one in other places too for suspended?
Oh, but I got a feedback from Josh. If you scroll down, like he wanted it's a purple one.
Isn't that purple? Is it not?
I can make it like a more purple-like, but still generated from the basic red and color, red and blue from our existing scheme.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will make that change. And just this missing color, are we okay with the same yellow?
I think it solves more problems than, so basically, even if I don't think it's confusing, it's just happened to be gray for like almost randomly because gray is okay for missing, but it introduced confusion. So if we're resolving confusion, it's better than what we have before. I personally, I would say yes. I would say, yeah, it's better to make it yellow and have distinct color for every status instead
Got
of,
it. Thank you.
so
I have another minor question I want to confirm. On the issue page, if you scroll up a little bit, you see the unknown for health status is the icon, sorry, a little bit down. Yes, here, the unknown uses the icon of processing on the health status. I think this is a mistake, like a minor, I can fix it within this ticket. I just want to confirm we didn't make this on
Okay.
purpose.
I know that there was some history and like we were changing it multiple times and Josh was involved. So I would just do it in a separate PR, and then basically
Okay.
and ask Joseph, he might be able to, like, he might remember why we choose it.
Okay. I will talk with him then. I thought maybe I thought it's just a typo or something because it's both unknown and one icon is for.
It doesn't make sense. I think, okay, I would maybe, I suspect that it was chosen just to have distinct icons on this page, on the details page.
Oh,
And then, but we need to.
okay.
I see how it's causing confusion on that page because like we have clear separation that this is sync, this is health, and then two different icons for kind of this almost the same. But it maybe makes sense here because you would not know what is what, and it's So I guess
we can make two like different types of question mark.
Yeah.
I just feel like we shouldn't use the same icon as the processing one in the health status. That's really like not consistent from.
Yeah. And I just remember that basically user who requested improvement of what we had before. Yeah, we used to have two question marks. And it was confusing because it was not clear what is what here.
Oh, okay.
But maybe it was not the best decision to use,
processing one. Okay, that could be a different issue then. Sorry. Okay, thank you. That's it.
Thank you. All right. Looks like that was productive. We managed to find color. Oh, nice. Harry just added the topics, and so we have one more issue that we want to discuss. I do not know who added it.
Sorry, it was me that added it. I didn't put my name. So I looked into this issue because there's this issue and another one that's linked to it somewhere in here. But people want like a bulk delete option where if you're deleting an app, you don't have to type the entire name of the app in order to delete it. So if you're deleting a bunch of apps at the same time, it takes a really long time. And I tried to do a shift click to delete it. And it was not gonna happen unless there were like huge changes to the way that React Forms was being implemented. So I don't think that that's an option to do that. So I just wanted to see like if it was still an issue or a feature that people wanted to see, that we could have some other way to implement that than having a shift click.
And I'm just curious.
I got a quick question about this. Is this the same delete when you're deleted a sub resource of an application? You have to type the long name of the resource in to delete it.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. Sorry, but I'm walking my dog and now that's having an interaction. Yeah, I find that really infuriating, that particular feature. I want to have, I like to be guarded from my own mistakes. but having to type the long name of a resource, which often contains some kind of really cryptic letters in it and numbers and so forth, it is, you know, it's kind of a bit, it's more friction than I personally like in the user interface. I wondered if there was a third way, so rather than having to type the name of each application in or each resource in, if I could just click on something and it will copy the name of the resource into the box, and then I can press OK. That would be very satisfying. I know it's kind of very contrary to the original implementation, but it would satisfy me, and I wanted to satisfy that.
I actually agree with Alex about this. Like, we wanted some cognitive dissonance when actually going through this, but the dissonance is so jarring that it's not productive. It doesn't need to be that intense in terms of just deleting it. It's mostly to prevent accidental thing rather than so
it's true, it's accidental, but I just remembered some history about this change. Basically, we had several extremely frustrated users who deleted production by, accidentally. So it's kind of choosing between two evils, and it would be awesome if we find some compromise. Like, I would not revert it, like, even after learning about some bad experiences, I was kind of, it's better than have no.
I think we want friction, but just like less. It's too much friction at the moment. It's good friction, but it's too much. I would maybe replace the box where what I do with this was I copy the line above it into the box. That's what I would do. But that's not easy to do because the user interface kind of reacts to you clicking on that. I would just replace the box with a checkbox.
Can we,
when you click on it, and then that's your middle ground.
Yeah, I was just saying in the chat that I'm saying in the chat that I originally had that text field replaced with a combo box pre-filled with the value of that name or the resource name. So if you want that, I can put that in.
I would just put a checkbox next to it that says I want to delete and then name of resource. I'm sure I want to delete name of resource. There is no undo.
That will do too. Yeah.
It would be the right thing to do. Because also, like, that's a user interface paradigm that people are familiar with, that kind of checkbox confirmation.
And just to clarify, do you think we need to have kind of consistent experience in application deletion and resource deletion, or are we talking about two different?
Yeah.
Like,
I'm talking about resource deletion. I can't speak so much for application deletion. Maybe a different level of friction is right there.
Okay, yeah, sounds like basically application deletion is more kind of destructive potentially than resource deletion. So
yeah, I think it's okay to make the app deletion a little harder because you're deleting a lot of managed resources, whereas
you should have to solve it. Yeah, you should have to solve a small Sudoku puzzle in the browser to delete an application. Or just two checkboxes. I'm sure. I'm really sure.
I'm pretty sure most people are complaining about, myself included, deleting a single resource is too painful.
Yes, so I understand how deleting a single resource, like I often did it too. Like I had to, especially if you work with just a dev application, like a temporal application, and you want to experiment.
Yeah.
Yeah. But maybe just to give another idea, like what if we introduce bulk deletion in the application details page? So this way we'll still can have annoying UI, but like I think it's a question to Alex. Like, let's say if you have a way to like select a bunch of resources from the top and click delete once, and then like basically say yes, I agree, or like type something like. Actually, okay, I think I want to take it back. Like if you're deleting a bunch of resources, the best we can offer is a checkbox because we cannot ask user to type name of each resource. And yeah, so maybe this is just too much here. Maybe we just need a checkbox.
I think checkbox is fine with me, but if that's too easy, I was wondering if there's some more like an interactive confirmation that how you can slide or move something. Like I don't know. I'm just thinking like out loud, but like on your phone you can slide something to
I saw
shut
that.
down your phone or something.
It's like I saw that banks do it, and they it's like a form of confirmation when you send someone's money.
Yeah, that's kind of like I don't know if that's possible with.
I mean, it's possible. I don't know how like a pro. I mean, it really works well on the mobile, just on small screen.
Yeah.
Like have a big button and you can scroll. It's easy to implement, but yeah. So.
Or is it too weird of a?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like, surprising.
I'm fine. Honestly, I'm fine with the checkbox.
I think checkbox would be too easy, and then doesn't. It looks like an option to do something, and then I don't know that. I think it's becoming too easy. People just check and delete, and wonder is any other better widget.
So maybe like one more way. So we did some. So basically, if you're trying to delete resource that won't recreate itself automatically, we ask for this change. But if you're deleting a child resource, like this replica set, for example, we don't ask anything because we, basically we have some context. We know that child resource is typically managed by its parent, so it was safe to, not ask for confirmation here. Maybe we can find some type of like more context. So top level resource is managed by the application. And okay, so
what's wrong with the combo or the checkbox? Do we have any?
I think William is saying it could be just like people just click on it.
Yeah, and it doesn't look very good either. I mean, if that matters, yeah, I think you put a checkbox there.
One idea that we know that everyone who complained, they basically deleted something like deployment or stateful set. Another option to make it try to make it smart, and if you're deleting a resource that managed pod, like we can get this information from on the UI. We could just say that if any of the child resources of this guy is a pod, then we need extra confirmation because it's potentially downtime.
I don't know that pods. I mean, yeah, we know that pods are important, but we also don't know that other things are important. I don't think we need to be that smart. Honestly, I just think we need to make it less difficult than typing the whole resource name.
And okay,
and
one last chance. What if we have copy button here? Like copy resource name, and then you click on it and paste. Like if we just minimize interaction and small copy button, yeah, you click on that button, and you get resource name and the clipboard, and then you paste it here, and you're done. Would it help?
I kind of like that idea. I think it gets somebody to look at
actually. Yeah, I think that might be better. I think rather than putting a checkbox, which if any of the user actually unexpectedly checked on it and delete. Instead of that, I think copy paste might be better. They know what they do.
So saying yes checkbox or yes copying, which one?
I would say yes to copy. Yeah, copy button.
Alex Collins, I think you was opinionated about it. Like, would it help you? Like, would you feel better if we had copy? Like a copy button here, and then you don't have to type, but you kind of have to think like you would need to. Okay. Yeah.
If I could just click on the name of, like, if you want me to, my eyes to look at the name, which I think is one of the goals, that's the friction. I have to look at the name of the thing I'm deleting. And if I can just click on the name and the name is copied and pasted directly into the box, that would be brilliant. I don't want to switch from mouse to keyboard when I do this. I don't want to have to right click and do copy. You know, I want to click and be done. But you know, there's like 7 steps, and I don't want to use my keyboard. I have to take my hand off my mouse.
I actually like to think about it this way. Yeah. So if we find a way to introduce friction, but only with the mouse, no like keyboard switching, then
yeah. That's a great way to think about it. Yeah. I'm lazy user, and I don't want to take my hands. If my hands are on the keyboard, I want them to stay on the keyboard, and if I'm on the mouse, I want them to stay on the mouse. I don't want to switch.
Yeah, the combo box approach only requires 2 clicks. Click one.
That'd be okay. Yeah, that'd be fine.
1 click to select the name, and then that's it.
Well, also like whoever does this, they could just give it a go and they can play around with it and see what works with them. You know, and they could be, you know, they know how to feel about it. They can just go, well, that feels right. That doesn't feel right.
All right. So I guess we've maybe this is an idea. Like we can try to implement it. I'm not sure, Regina, was you working on the feature?
I was just trying to do the shift click portion of it. I'm not like tied to continue working on this if somebody else wants to take it on, but I could also work on it. Maybe not this sprint, but like in the future.
Yeah, or at least we need to, yeah, we can just document that. Just commenting that issue that, okay, we've got another idea which a lot of people like, you know, to be able to maybe, you know, just use the mouse, and like one way to use mouse is to add this copy button, and you know, this way you can easily get name into clipboard and then use mouse to insert it into.
So just so is this common thing to do? Like if people just trying to see if this is if you do this right, is it intuitive for the user to think, okay, well, I have to copy this. I know we're trying to save the keystroke with the. I just want to see if anyone have seen similar usage in other application. I'm trying to see, you know, does it look weird, or is it? I mean, I'm trying to think. Maybe maybe creating more trouble. I think maybe check may not be the, you know, maybe be fine. I'm just asking if anyone's thing doing this cut and paste, it look weird, like can look weird to some users, not intuitive.
Yeah, I was going to say something similar. I don't think I've seen that pattern elsewhere, but I obviously haven't seen all UIs.
Yeah, if it's, I don't want to make this dialogue become like okay, well, the user may be confused, like what do I have to do? That probably create more problem. So maybe the checkbox may not be the, you know, maybe the right thing to do. I do know, like in places where you have to do confirmation, you have to check a box before you can before the OK button to show up, things like that, right? That is probably more intuitive. Then I know we're trying to find a way that that the best solution for the user. Maybe doing the checkbox, maybe, you know, I think we're trying to yes, we're trying to maybe a bit maybe be working too hard. And my concern really is I don't want this to look weird, become a strange thing for the user. Maybe I go back, maybe the checkbox may be a good option.
Yeah.
I think the common pattern is really to type in the name of the resource.
Yeah, that is.
But, you know, just like when you try to delete a Git repo, you have to type it in.
I think that's pretty true for for bigger, more consequential things like a Git repo. It's like pretty consequential.
Yeah.
Like I guess the equivalent for us would be an application. So I think at the application level that makes sense. In an individual resource object, I think we can afford to be a little looser, and because I think that's actually a common thing people need to do, like for, I don't know, hygiene purpose or maintenance, and that, which is why I think the individual resource deletion can be a bit easier with just a simple deletion or a confirmation thing, but application we can kind of make more difficult, like more they get repositories.
I see some comments in chat to make it even more, like to highlight on the dialog the most important information, like, maybe use a bold color to highlight the resource name and type. And by the way, I remember the person who kind of explained like a disaster case. I think that person mentioned that someone deleted resource and just confused. Basically, often resource same name. Like, for example, if you have a repo server deployment and repo server service, like a Kubernetes service, both might have the same name, and that dialog would not even protect from this type of mistake. You would put the name of your resource and you still delete something. So yeah, maybe we simply have a checkbox, but more prominent information about the type and name, like deployment in bold, name in bold, and maybe the resource icon next to the deployment, so like what kind of resource you're deleting, and checkbox, and basically. So this way we ensure user knows for sure like what he or she trying to delete, and checkbox is good enough confirmation.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, definitely there needs to be more acknowledgement of the name, at least on this page, like just having it the same font and everything is, I feel like not very good user experience. But I think like a checkbox with like more acknowledgement on what they're actually deleting is sufficient.
Okay.
Okay, seems like everyone eventually agreed to checkbox and a little bit more information about deleting the resource.
Cool.
Awesome. Thank you. Thanks for making this ticket friendly. Proceed, and you forced us to make some decision. Cool. Let's go back to the other items. I noticed that, okay, before we switch off UX topics, anything else people wanted to discuss? Otherwise, we'll move into a couple process-related topics from Harry. All right, I guess, Harry, if you want to take over, go ahead, please.
Sure. Yeah, I think this is in continuous to the last contributor meeting regarding the milestone review. I think we just wanted to take in. I just want to see like if anyone got a chance to review those tickets and maybe add new items in that. So these are, I think, the items that are, I think, Alex posted, where a couple of them, I think these three, right, Alex? Two are, I think, Intuit is working on, and this one is working on CodeFresh. And there is two which is still anyone scraps, and the bug tickets. So before going more into details, like any opinions or any feedback on adding more enhancements or anything, Jonathan or William or anyone else to talk about?
And okay, maybe I wanted to add a little bit. We had conversation about it, and Harry had a great idea. Basically, he kind of highlighted, and that, for example, we see a lot of contributions from, both actually Red Hat and CodeFresh and as well Intuit. We all kind of periodically pick tickets which are not big. It's like usually, small enhancement or small bug fix. And these tickets contribute, it's a significant contribution to release, and they go unnoticed. And we were just brainstorming how to fix it. And one proposal was to at least try to, kind of plan a little bit ahead of time and try to choose ones which are related to each other and group them. And that will really help to increase visibility, and we'll have more information to put it into release block, and more credit goes to you, basically. So for example, like we, why keep working on keep working on improving UI. And it will be difficult for me to, because whoever writes the release block to catch all the fixes we've made and highlight it well in the release. But if we try to think about it now and find some number of related tickets and try to give it a name, give the name to that group, and maybe we can say that, improve consistency of, and some smart name that explains what exactly we're doing, then it's like a benefit to everyone. Users will know what we're trying to achieve, and contributors will get more credit because it's like a big chunk of work, and it's better than a couple sentences in release blocks which says we fixed a lot of bugs. It kind of doesn't explain. So yeah, hopefully that helps. So basically, we could try to do this exercise now. If we go through 2.2 release, and we could, if we just look at all UI tickets, and we kind of know most likely who is going to work on those tickets. If we simply group them, and then people commit to that group, then we kind of know that it will be easier to go and maybe add one more line into roadmap of next release, and it will give more clarity to users. Plus, we will know that we will get, one more. Basically, we'll get one more enhancement of them in the next release.
Yeah, not just UI, means anything actually, any enhancements, bugs or anything, but anything that can be grouped, maybe we can group them and put it as maybe performance enhancement or UI enhancements. So like that, you can create an epic and group those tickets.
Yeah, I only refer to UI as the most kind of prominent. I just see it's happening continuously. We keep getting a dozen of PRs related to UI and cosmetic fixes and bug fixes on API, and this goes totally unnoticed. I feel bad because it's we usually write release block in a rush, and it's it would require a whole investigation to find all these groups and try to name them, and that's why we typically it's literally 2 sentences, but these 2 sentences kind of describe a lot of work. I mean, 2 sentences we had a lot of performance and improvements and bug fixes, but in reality it's much more. It's we should try to explain that work better. And one way is to maybe through planning try to group, commit, and then even have it in the roadmap.
I'm not quite understand when you say group,
Group. Okay, yeah. I think we. Not sure who's sharing right now. I guess
I'm actually sharing. Maybe you can take her over.
Yeah, I was hoping to quickly find an example, and let me. Yeah, I'll share. And so by grouping, I mean if we find. Okay, and I guess it's pointless to share because I won't be able to find the example right now easy. So I will have to make it up. Let's say we work on. We have 2 tickets. One is changing colors of the icons. Another one changing maybe some paddings and like buttons. Maybe these 2 could look like they're not related, but we're kind of improving consistency of UI, and that's the name of a group. So and basically, if you have the name of this group, then you can write a couple sentences and explain why a user benefit from it. And user will benefit because it will be easier to navigate. You know, it's like UI became self-explanatory. Users don't have to really own same thing on each and every page. And I just make it up, but it's kind of, I'm sure we can find more, you know, of this type of groups. Like, yeah.
What is a group in the GitHub? Like, is it gonna be represented by?
Okay, I was hoping to, this group eventually should make it into roadmap. That's what, this is where it would really like help. Let me switch to latest. It was a little bit improved. Roadmap. Yeah, so like now I feel like we're switching into have like more kind of realistic roadmap. So in 2.2 we're working on this 4, but this, okay, this actually this is supposed to be in 2. It's done. Yeah, basically this 3. And it looks like we have commitment to work on this 3. But in reality, we're going to make way more work because this is just kind of top, like, you know, features that naturally must have name because these are new things. But at the same time, I guess like around 80% of work are not going to be related to these features, and we won't even mention them. And yeah, so, and we won't give appropriate credit, and users won't know some enhancements are coming. And yeah, so instead of just working on a bunch of issues, we can try to group these issues into bulks and then provide some short description of what this group of issues address.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and then, but I guess it's a call for action. Like Harry was wanted to, you know, to kind of ask people to try to, it's hard to do that, you know. For example, I don't know how would I be able to do that work because I do not know, you know, I basically, I would need help. I know that trying to find who do I put on the spot. Pasha actively picking issues. And I guess you have some kind of, you know, basically, maybe you already have some idea of what kind of issues you're looking for. And that, you know, if maybe we can work together to try to, you know, come up with a list of things that you think you will work on, and then try to name that list. And same for Red Hat folks, like, yeah. And
yes, sure.
Yeah, I think that is one item, and the other one is, I think, just continues from the last one, right? From the milestone point of view, like if anyone has new features that they want to work on, please add it as well. We'll again repeat this for another next week also, just to give more time for all the users or all the contributors. But please go through the milestones and see like which one you can pick it up or your team can work on. I think that would be great so that we can start planning in that way. Any I mean feedback or any comments, that would be great. Okay, then we can move on to the next one, trias feedback inputs. I think last week, I think William and Abhishek are the trias owners. So we want to hear from them, like what is their experience and any issues or any improvements that you want to propose.
So actually, I wasn't able to commit any time to spend on doing triaging, so my bad. I want to do it the next week.
Yeah, same here. Actually, I want to start it from this Monday, and I thought that Pasha and Alex were doing this week. My bad on that. Sorry. I would start working on that from this Monday.
I mean, like usually the cycle starts. Usually Thursday is the end. Friday starts actually. Okay. Yeah. Probably we might need to present that Friday to Thursday maybe.
Sure. Yeah. So we can start from tomorrow in that case.
Yeah. So I did look at all the labels. So trying to understand what the labels. I think like 7.2. There's a bunch of label, but yeah. So we was doing an elect cycle, and in the meantime, probably before we have the permission, we'll probably just comment, put it in the comments. But yeah,
Cool.
so yeah.
Yeah, and I'm basically if everyone, if like a lot of people goes to that proposal and say yes, I think we will give just ability, permission to change labels sooner. So please do.
So I think the responsibility should include like getting clarifying questions in if there's not enough details, things like what version, if you have insight on areas of the logs that they may need to paste, and you have that knowledge, then you can ask those clarifying questions. But yeah, labeling is part of it, but also just kind of getting more details. It's almost always the case that the description never has enough information.
That's right. Yeah. So William and Abhishek, so you want to continue from tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's great. So I think we will put the timeline also so that you can continue on that. And going to the discussions part, right? Jesse, like any new discussions that you want to share here?
I was able to handle all the questions except for one, which was related to Keycloak login for CLI. And I think I wasn't able to answer it because I think this is highly dependent on the OIDC provider. And since Keycloak is a Red Hat product, if I'm not mistaken, let me bring up the discussion.
I stop sharing.
Yeah, I'll take over. All right, so this is the user's problem. They were trying to do a CLI login using OIDC, and we support this, but they get this error, and it's different for every provider because, like, I know with Dex there's an option to I think to enable this, and then I think with Okta there was also another way of allowing CLI logins using like proof of key for code exchange. And then for Keycloak, I'm thinking it's something else. So I was hoping if anyone on the Red Hat side has experience with this, they could kind of chime in with doing this.
Sure, I can take a look. I mean, I have some experience on Keycloak, so I'll have a look at this.
Okay.
Discussion.
Yeah. Thank you. That's it. Everything else seemed okay. Pretty straightforward.
Before we forget, we're supposed to change. You have moderator, so I'm next on the list, and I do have time next week, so I'll just put my name.
I'm like Alex, if you want, maybe any new one, a new contributor can do it.
I mean, you mean like
because
like a shadow moderator, someone who wants to help?
Maybe because I see like I don't like how long we are in this list. Because if new ones are added, I would really encourage new contributors to be to start having to involve more in the discussions as well. Because I think new names are added, right? Probably we are just going again on the same names.
There is list of names, yeah. So we were here, and basically we need to decide who's next. Any volunteers? And I added my name because I didn't do it for a while. I think I have not done it for like.
I think first, start with any volunteers. I think that would be great. Otherwise, we can go to the list. Yeah.
I'd be happy to team with Alex.
Okay, Chet. Yeah.
And I'm trying to figure out like how do I just put you to the top, and I guess at some point I should be. So I basically will keep my name and then put volunteers in front of.
Yeah, I would help as well. I just don't know answers on all questions, but if I will meet some, I mean, I meet some questions that I don't know answers yet. so I can help with these topics that I'm sure what to answer. So I can help.
Okay, I'll put your name as well, and then highlight it too, just you know, so we know who did it last week.
That's great.
All right.
Yeah, that's it. I think. Yeah.
Some perfect timing. We just basically reached the end of an hour, and I think that's it for today. Yeah, please think about the issues and grouping of issues or whatever we call it, and it will really help. And I think it will help to contributors as well, because I think we did not give enough credit in like at least 2.1 release. There was a ton of bug fixes, like literally like dozens and dozens, and it was hard to explain it in release blog. I wish we improve it next time. And yeah, we need help from everyone who contributes to do.
I have one last question, Alex. So
Yeah.
since we have a triage process now, so how should we handle old issues? Like, so we have, there are issues from 2019.
Yes.
So
I don't.
And many of them might not be relevant as well.
We kind of thought about it, and I don't think we'll make a decision, but it's just observation. So like a few months ago, I think we were like in a disaster state where number of issues was growing and we could not even stop it. Now it goes down, so it's like a step forward. Now I think we're in a more stable position. My feeling was that we keep doing it a little bit, and once we're even more stable, then we can go and we can go and try to triage old issues. I tried to do it some time ago, and the whole effort was wasted. I think I spent like a week. I was trying to close and group issues, and it was kind of it was wasted because I triaged like 500 issues, and then a few months later we almost doubled. Yeah, so I guess if we run in a good state and we basically, if like in the months from now we see that really number of issues is not growing, it's going down, then it's a good indication that it's time to clean up old ones. And that's my feeling. But I think it's a longer conversation, to be honest. It's maybe.
Well, I do think we should reconsider turning on the stale bot.
Yeah.
Too. So I mean, all projects, especially of this size, are using some form of automation to help manage issues. So
yeah, that's true. Right.
Yeah, and I'm sorry. At least I had a hard stop at like and I need to. So maybe we can take this topic and kind of discuss it next time. It's maybe we should not wait for too long and like start from creating stale bot now. And yeah. And since there is, I noticed that Dan had to drop as well, and like since people have hard stop, I propose to postpone it to the next meeting.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Thanks everyone. Thanks for joining.
Yeah. Thank you. Thanks,
Thank
Alex.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you guys. Bye.
See you. Bye.